Hello everyone, it's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. I just want to let you guys know that the Treasury released new guidance on the EV credits. Now you guys remember the Inflation Reduction Act put in this $7,500 dollar EV tax credit, and it was linked to three things. One, just to get in the door, final assembly had to be in North America. And then two, so even if you were assembled in North America, you got zero tax credits. If you want the 7,500, it was divided up into two pieces, which is 3,750 each. One part was battery components, and the other one was critical battery minerals. And they had to have a specific percentage of them that were in from North America or a country that we had a free trade agreement with. Now, because the rules were kind of complicated, the Treasury Department put a hold on it, and they said that they would come out with new final guidelines in March. And then, true to their word, on March 31st, they came out with the guidelines. The guidelines will go into effect on April 18th. So if you're thinking about buying a Bolt or a Bolt EUV or something has final assembly in the US that you could get a credit on, you better get it and take delivery before August 18th. So I don't know, like Tesla still is assembled in the final assembly in the US, so you would get the tax credit. Um, but I don't know if you ordered one now, whether you would take delivery by April 18th. Probably not. Um, but anyways, this is their final guidance. They're saying for 2023, you have to have 40% of the critical minerals be from the U.S. or with a country with which the U.S. has a free trade agreement with, and those countries are listed here. Um, However, most of the critical minerals are going to come out from other than these countries at the current time. So I believe this is the component that's going to make most of the current EVs not get the full credit. So I think this critical mineral component at 40% is going to be much too high of a bar for most of the vehicles. Then there's the battery component requirement, which they're saying is 50%, and that's another 3,750. This one, I think that they're going to be able to get. Some vehicles are going to be able to get it. Not too many, but we will know some vehicles are going to be able to get it. So they are saying, so if you go here, this is the Federal Register where they are talking about this unpublished rule. If you click on this PDF, it is a 61-page um, uh, document. And the other thing that's important to know is that, remember, another stipulation was that you could not have any critical minerals or battery components from a foreign entity of concern. And it's widely believed that this foreign entity of concern is basically China. And China does the vast majority of lithium refining and EV battery manufacture at this time. So in 2024, this is going to be a really, like, if you even if you have a one piece of your battery from China or even a little bit of minerals from China, then that's going to disqualify you. And so in 2024, it's going to that the bar to get the credit's going to go even higher. And so I think that's going to be very, very difficult. Overall, probably this helps Aptera getting fewer cars eligible for this thing. I mean, it overall hurts the electrification of the US fleet, which is probably a bad thing, but it does make Aptera not as financially at a disadvantage when competing on price with some vehicles. Because getting $7,500 off, like for a Bolt EUV, you could right now get a Bolt EUV for like $22,000, which is cheaper than the lowest model Aptera, and that's going to be, for people that just care about pure practicality, that's going to be pretty hard to turn down. So this overall, I think, helps Aptera, but they are going to release a list on either February 17th or February 18th that is going to have a list of the vehicles that qualify. So right now we can only guess as to what vehicles qualify, but by then there will be a list. But up until April 18th, So you have to take delivery and do it before April 18th. So I think April 17th is the very last day that you can take delivery of a car. Um, so right now, if it has final assembly in the US, you qualify. So you have, basically maybe 2 weeks or a little bit less to do this. So yeah, letting you guys know out there, if you want to do it, you probably want to do it in the next week and a half to get one of these vehicles. Because after that, these two requirements, the critical mineral and the battery component requirement, are going to make it impossible for any car to get the full um, tax credit, and probably very few are going to just get the battery component tax part of the tax credit. So I think there's just going to be a very small handful of cars that meet that requirement, and it's only going to be half starting April 18th. And then starting at the end of 2024, it's going to be even harder when the foreign entities of concern requirement goes in. And now, as before, there's a couple of other stipulations, like there's a pricing requirement. Cars have to be under $55,000 and SUVs have to be under $80,000. So if you're buying like a Model X, you're not going to qualify. Or if you're buying like a GM Hummer, that you're not going to qualify because of the price. And then if you make more than $150,000 as a single or $300,000 as a family, you're not going to qualify. And it is a tax credit. So you have to have at least that amount of tax liability, or else, if your tax liability is less than 7,500 or 3,750, depending on how much the credit is, you're only going to get back what you paid in taxes. So if your tax liability is less than that, it doesn't really help you. There doesn't seem to be a way of getting it at the point of sale yet, although they talked about that. And then the last thing is there is a workaround to all of these requirements, and that is leasing. It looks like if you lease it, then the critical mineral and manufacturing requirements do not occur. So I think you could lease any EV. It doesn't even have to be manufactured in the US. And the automakers can choose to pass on those savings to you. So that's kind of a backdoor into this tax credit, is leasing a vehicle. Okay, all right. Well, let me know what you guys think. You think overall this is a good thing or a bad thing that that very few cars are going to qualify for these tax credits? And what do you guys think about the foreign entities of concern and basically locking China out of the U.S. EV market, essentially, like in effect, and making these see pretty soon in 2029 the percentage is going up to 100% and then 80%. That is those are going to be very, very steep requirements to meet. Although many of our manufacturers are onshoring battery manufacturing and refining right now. They're doing it right now, partially in part because of this. I think overall that is a good thing for the U.S. Transportation security and energy security, because we need to onshore some of this stuff. Can't be fully dependent on China for manufacturing batteries and components and refining minerals. So overall, I think the onshoring of a good portion of the battery infrastructure is overall a good thing. At least we need to have some domestic production for sure. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.